Yeah.
The Pacers traded the number 23 pick and the rights to Mojave King.
They would be a great Anthony Davis team.
Oh, they would be for sure.
They would be an incredible Anthony Davis team.
And that's why they did this deal, because they get their 26 first-round pick back from the Pelicans. That pick was protected in 26 and 27. So prior to this deal, the Pacers could only trade this year's number 23 pick. They could trade their 2029 pick and their 2031 pick, and then swaps in the even-numbered years. Now, after this deal, once the new year starts on July 1, they'll be able to deal their picks in 26, 28, 30, and 32. That's 4 first-round picks, and then the swaps in the odd number years. So now they have all of their future picks. And Indiana suddenly has more draft capital to make moves to get better. And so with the Pacers, at first when the deal happened, I saw some people on the timeline saying, well, does this mean they think they're going to take a step back next year? No, I think it's the opposite. They're loading up to try to get better. Yeah, I think that's exactly what this is. They're loading up because they want to try to get even better next season. And if that's the case, I respect the hell out of it. I think it's a great move for them. I think it makes all the sense in the world. You get a little cash savings this year as well without giving out a number 23 pick salary to a rookie, and you get more flexibility for a big move this summer. So I love it from the Pacers. And look, a team in the finals made a trade. How weird is that? And it's a smart deal.
It's an incredible deal. And also, like, to the point of them going out and getting some next guy, like they could really make things interesting in the trade market because of the fact that they are a championship contender, because of the fact that they have added salary plus young players that they can incorporate with those picks to go out and get a player. I mean, I've toyed around with the idea of them going out for Giannis, even though there was the whole John Haliburton and Giannis situation that happened earlier in the playoffs.
Can you imagine?
He would still be a great fit in what they do. Would be a nice change. I don't know.
What a great story that would be.
Yeah. Can you imagine? The first day he
John
gets traded,
holding a Giannis towel.
Yes, exactly. You see the vision. He would be great there. We talked about Anthony Davis just now and what that would do. I don't know if the Mavs are really interested in moving him, but another guy that kind of makes sense for them is Lauri Markkanen.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just a guy who can kind of stretch the floor, be kind of like a stretch five for you in certain situations. Again, I don't know what the salary is there and how they would be able to make that trade work. Maybe the Jazz are interested in a Ben Mathurin plus obviously all of their picks to go out and get a Markkanen. I know they've kind of considered the Cam Johnson option and adding more shooting to their wings, but I don't know how that fits into their situation with Nesmith and Nembhard and what they get from those guys already. But the Pacers are just so primed to make some sort of addition. And I wonder if that addition is in the 5 spot, because Miles Turner is an unrestricted free agent, because he can go out and get money. And while, like, the first thing you could think of
also underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he had a good season. I don't want to take that away from him. He had some good runs in the postseason as well. But man, like, he just
has had some moments here in the postseason. Like he even in the finals, there were quarters and stretches where you're like,
in the fourth quarter of what was it, game 1, game 3, whatever it was, one of those. Yeah. But man, for the most part, I like, he's averaging like 3 rebounds a game. He has not looked impactful defensively. Offensively, I don't feel like he's made his imprint, not shooting the ball well, not getting to the rim.
It's hard to consider. Like, to me, he's the very obvious point in which they can upgrade.
And
right?
That sucks. He's been there a decade, and like, it's so cool that he's there with the Pacers after all these trade talks.
Well,
and here we are. In the finals.
You know what's
Still
funny,
talking about trading Miles Turner.
I'm looking at your jersey on your right, Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
He was with the Celtics for years, right? And everybody looked at that trade and like, what are you doing? Marcus Smart is the heart and soul of this team. I was there. I was like, how hot, how insane is that? And from everybody that I've heard at the finals, talking to people, like, Miles Turner is so important to the locker room of that Pacers team. So I don't want to take that away from him, but at the same time, it might be the medicine that you need to have to be able to move on and actually become a championship contender. It's such a bizarre scenario.
How crazy is that?